Welcome back. As we approach the new school year, it becomes more important than ever to have your kids having sustained energy that they need for learning, playing, and growing.
Joining us today is clinical nutritionist Tara Coleman with some great tips that can ensure that all the students have the fuel they need to power through the school day. So, hey, Tara, thanks for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's just dive right in. What healthy options can you recommend for our kiddos' snack choices this back to school season?
Absolutely. So there's three things I want you to think about when you're thinking about building a healthy snack. I want you to think about there being a carbohydrate, a protein, and perhaps most importantly, I want you to think about it actually tasting good, because healthy food only works if they put it into your body. So if they trade it for something else at lunch, that's not doing anyone any good.
Yeah, those are great tips right there. What do kids need to stay fueled throughout their school day?
Well, I mentioned carbohydrates before, right? And that can be a little bit of a taboo word in our culture right now, but carbohydrates are our most important energy source, right? Typically we think of tortillas or crackers, but fruits, vegetables, those are our most important carbohydrates. They give us our vitamins and minerals, and a lot of them are naturally sweet, right? Which kids love. So leaning on some grapes, some clementines, some treetop applesauce are great options. Now, I want you to take those carbs and combine it with a protein, because protein is the staying power. This is what keeps them full. This is what helps them concentrate, which I think their teachers will appreciate as well. So protein can be, turkey slices or string cheese, but nuts or seeds or beans or lentils would fall into that group as well. So when you're thinking of a snack, grabbing something from these beautiful carbohydrates and something from this protein is going to keep them fueled and energized throughout the day.
Those are such great tips. And here where we live, some students have actually gone back to school today as their first day. And, already thinking, though, as a parent for next summer. So what can parents do to ensure that their kiddos stay healthy throughout the entirety of this school year, Tara?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because right now we're energized, right? It's the beginning of school year. We have new shoes, we have new pens, and we're all motivated to eat healthy now, but I'm also interested in what's going to happen in a couple weeks or a couple months where maybe we're, run down. And so some strategies is to, keep this fresh produce around, but also keep some things that are going to live in the pantry, right? Some juice pouches or applesauce cups or things like that they can both lean on today, but lean on in a couple weeks from now. Making sure that things are accessible is really going to be the key to all of this.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know when my kids come home, the first thing they do is go to the pantry and look for a snack. So having some healthy snack options like that for them in the pantry is going to be key this coming school year.
Yeah, absolutely. What other kind of nutritional tips do you have for parents and kiddos?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
I'm sorry, for what other kind of nutritional tips do you have for parents and kiddos?
So when it comes to, nutrition, one, leading by example, right? So a lot of the stuff I'm talking about for your kids, but guess what? It can help us too. Things like this are great snacks for us to bring to work, but also to eat with our kids, to show them that we're also making these choices. Because as we know, they don't necessarily listen to what we're saying, but they certainly know what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah, they're always watching me more than they're listening to me, for sure.
Right, exactly. So how else can parents encourage their kids to make those healthy choices? We talked about like leading by example.
Yeah. Well, I would say exposure, right? You know as a parent that some days your kids will love something and then the next day they just can't stand it. Or there's certain things that it seems like they'll never eat. And I realize this is so much easier said than done. But, if there are certain foods that you're trying to encourage your kids to eat, to put them on the plate without the expectation of them eating it, but also surround it by foods that they like, right? So for instance, maybe you want them to start eating carrots, and they're not that excited about it, but you know that they love applesauce and you know that they love string cheese. Build a plate around that so you know they're going to eat, right?
Yeah, for sure.
By exposing it to the things they like, and then one day they actually might surprise you and eat that carrot.
Yeah, for sure. Tara, thanks so much for your time today.
Yes,
we appreciate you joining us, filling us in on all those great tips for back to school snacks.